Guys, I always thought कि therapy is for those people who have really bad, मतलब जिनकी लाइफ में बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ बुरा हो जाता है and they lose some very close one, or they go through some intense kind of trauma or some very painful incident. मुझे लगता था कि only those people need therapy. But after I had you can say a major setback in my academic career, in my academic journey, I realized how important it is to take therapy even for the smallest things. And शायद हमें realize भी नहीं होता है कि therapy का role कितना बड़ा है until and unless we face some kind of situation where we have to take therapy and we see the transformation ourselves. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Psychology with Aditi. I am Aditi, a psychology student, and in this video I will tell you कि what was my therapy experience. मेरा therapy experience कैसा था, मैंने क्यों therapy ली, what were the results of the therapy, what were the things that turned out well, what were the major revelations, and what are the assumptions about therapy. Was it expensive, was I able to afford it, everything. So watch till the end. Okay, so as you guys already know that I am doing my master's in psychology, and currently it is my second year, like almost शुरू होने वाला है. But in 2024 I passed out from my college. मेरा graduation हो चुका था in BA Honours Applied Psychology. So I, as any other psychology student doing their graduation, I decided to give CUET exam because of course मुझे Delhi University में admission लेना था, which is a very common dream of every other student. And so I decided that I will give CUET. मैंने CUET के लिए पढ़ा, अच्छे से पढ़ा. I think around 5-6 months I gave the preparation. मैंने preparation को time दिया. I solved all the PYQs. I learned everything. But the thing is that I did not took any coaching. It was all self-study because मैंने जो भी reviews देखे तो उसमें यही था कि it is a very easy exam. You study for 2 hours and then you get good marks and you get a good college. But that was not the case because उस साल I think CUT cutoff बहुत high गया था. Even for very normal colleges they were like 270, 275, and I was totally shocked and really sad because मेरा score 58 पे आके अटक गया था. ना ही ये बहुत ज़्यादा क्वालिफाइंग स्कोर था नहीं, ना ही ख़राब स्कोर था. इट वॉज समवन इन बिटवीन. एंड कि जो चीज़ें बीच में रह जाती हैं उनकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं होती. यू हैव टू बी आइदर ऑन दिस साइड और ऑन दिस साइड. या तो मैंने पढ़ा ही ना होता तो भी मुझे उतना बुरा नहीं लगता, बट मैंने पढ़ा एंड फिर मेरा नहीं हुआ. सो द अमाउंट ऑफ स्ट्रेस दैट आई एक्सपीरियंस्ड वॉज टेरेबल. I always wanted to move out of the house and I really studied well for the exam, but for some reason I was not able to give. I was not able to clear the cutoff. Now the biggest mistake that I did, of course, was not having a backup option. I was totally and heavily relied on CUET because I was so confident, which of course you should never do in your life. You should always have a backup option. So after that, as usual, parents को disappointment होती है. So in my family, in my home also, I was very much, there was a lot of pressure on myself कि why I'm not able to do anything, मुझे कोई ढंग का कॉलेज नहीं मिल रहा, what will happen in the future. And everybody in my family is like very good in academics and they are in good positions doing study from great colleges and मुझसे नहीं हो रहा था. So I was really sad about that. And खुद से तो disappointment थी, family में भी बहुत ज़्यादा. I was hearing it every day. So of course there was a lot of pressure on me. And at some point I realized that I was not able to focus on anything in my life. Even the daily routine was getting very heavy for me. And I was completely lost, demotivated. I had lost all my self-confidence and I thought that I will never be able to do anything in my life. And that constant negative pattern of thinking that goes in your mind. So that was happening with me 24/7. So at some point I realized that I was not able to cope with it. And generally what happens is whenever I have some kind of difficulty or crisis in my life, I share that with my friends and they motivate me and I am able to cope up with it. But this time वो चीज़ भी नहीं हो रही थी. I was so intensely worried and anxious about everything, almost all the different aspects of my life, that I thought I just cannot take it, and that was the moment when I decided that I will go for therapy. Okay, so now this is very interesting how I found my therapist. So my therapist, of course मैंने पता किया कि थेरेपी कहाँ पे कितनी मिलती है, एंड इट ऑल द रेंज वाज लाइक 1500 to 3000, इसके बीच में यू वर गेटिंग अ थेरेपिस्ट, एंड विच इज़ ऑफ कोर्स द एवरेज. Okay, so now this is very interesting how I found my therapist. So my therapist, of course मैंने पता किया कि थेरेपी कहाँ पे कितनी मिलती है, एंड इट ऑल द रेंज वाज लाइक 1500 to 3000, इसके बीच में यू वर गेटिंग अ थेरेपिस्ट, एंड विच इज़ ऑफ कोर्स द एवरेज the average charge per session that the therapist takes. But at that point I was not able to afford it, and सबसे बड़ी चीज़ मैं घर पे भी नहीं बता सकती थी that I am taking therapy for this, because already they were so done with me and totally disappointed that of course मुझे उस चीज़ पे भी बोला जाता. So I decided not to tell anybody and just find what help can I get. So I was in the search, and that is when one day मेरे WhatsApp पे there was a message that I faltered upon, and the message said that providing free counseling services but only for women. And when I read that message I was very curious. I thought कि अच्छा ये pro bono therapy session होगा. So pro bono is where basically therapists give free therapy because they are in their training phase. So I thought okay, maybe pro bono therapy session होगा. So I texted that girl, and she was a girl, and she replied to me कि she is doing this for social service, and I was just totally shocked that okay, this thing also happens, that somebody can provide therapy for free, and that too for social cause, and that too for anybody. The only criteria was that you were supposed to be a girl. Okay, so I was completely shocked, and that is when I decided that okay, let's try क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है. So that is how I found my therapist, and then I booked my first session. And unfortunately what happened that after I booked my first session, that first session itself I was sitting at a salon with my friend, and I just completely forgot कि मेरी therapy भी है. And then she texted me. मेरा therapy का session was around 6 p.m. we decided, but I was sitting in the salon like around 5 p.m. and at 4 p.m. somewhere she texted me that okay, we joined the link. And मैं अपने घर से like you can say 15 to 18 किलोमीटर्स दूर थी. सो ऑफकोर्स मुझे वापस जाना, एक सेटअप में बैठना, इट वॉज नियरली नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल कि मैं टाइम पे पहुंच जाऊं. सो आई टेक्स्टेड हर कि मैं नहीं आ सकती बिकॉज मैं अवेलेबल नहीं हूँ. एंड शी वॉज रियली annoyed, and she said to me that you should respect the professional's time, and next time please inform a day prior. So I felt very embarrassed, but I was like okay, sorry, even I didn't know that. And guys, seriously, I just forgot it. मुझे बिल्कुल भी नहीं याद था, वरना मैं ये चीज़ कभी नहीं करती. So we decided that we will take the therapy next day. So the next day around I think 8 p.m. was my first therapy session, and I was sitting in front of the camera, and it was online mode because she was based in Mumbai and I am of course from Lucknow. So फर्स्ट सेशन वॉज द हिस्ट्री टेकिंग सेशन, वेयर मेरी जो थेरेपिस्ट थी उसने बेसिकली मेरी पूरी हिस्ट्री ली कि वेयर डू आई लिव, माई फैमिली हिस्ट्री, माई मेडिकल हिस्ट्री, माई पास्ट साइकोलॉजिकल हिस्ट्री. शी ऑल्सो did this mental status exam where she tested my attention and everything, just to rule out that in case I need some clinical supervision. So that was the first day, and जो सेशन चला था that was around 1.5 hours, मतलब 1.5 घंटे का सेशन चला था मेरा फर्स्ट सेशन. एंड इट वॉज जस्ट, वो मुझसे इन्फॉर्मेशन ले रही थी. उसने थेरेपी जो मेन थी दैट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट डे, एंड दैट वॉज आफ्टर 1 week. हर एक हफ्ते में there was one session. So yes, I think it was every Tuesday. So after 1 week we started therapy, and in the next session, the first session that I had with her, she actually was very sweet and nice. She made me very comfortable, and I always think at that point of time there was some kind of divine energy that really helped me find the right therapist, because I was not in a situation where I could have afford one where I could be. Of course I am a student and I could not take help from my family. Now guys, if you are in my situation, please don't do this. See, if you are able to find a free therapy session, go ahead. Otherwise, at some point of time, you have to tell to someone. And I know this was again my mistake that I should have not done, but everybody has their own family dynamics and we can't really judge from outside that what's going inside, right? Okay, so दूसरे सेशन में उसने मुझसे कुछ एक्सरसाइजेस कराई थी, आई थिंक रिलैक्सिंग एक्सरसाइजेस, वेयर शी गाइडेड विजुअल इमेजरी जो होता है, वेयर यू द थेरेपिस्ट जो भी सामने मे बी सुपरवाइजर होता है, वो आपको बोलता है दैट यू हैव टू क्लोज योर आइज एंड फोकस ऑन डिफरेंट parts of your body either, or they tell you to focus on different objects. जैसे कि she actually guided me through a whole story where I was standing in front of a balcony and then वहाँ पे बहुत सुंदर scenery थी, there was everything. She guided me. It was a very beautiful experience that she was guiding me. And then ultimately she sort of asked me that where do you feel heaviness in your body, and I replied my shoulders, because I don't know how I felt a sudden weight on my shoulders, and she then she guided me to let go of it again. That was a very guided this thing, imagery. It was through a guided imagery, so she told me to let go of it, and very beautifully she carried the whole process. And after that session, I was never bothered much about my result or my failure. I was able to, ठीक है, it's okay. Also उसने मुझे words के through भी बहुत ज़्यादा motivate किया था. But of course एक दिन में वो चीज़ नहीं हुई थी. It took me around 3-4 sessions around to overcome this CUT वाली चीज़. And she made me try different exercises. वो कभी मुझे कोई टेस्ट देती थी, कभी वो मुझे वर्कशीट्स फिल करने को देती थी, वो मुझे एफर्मेशंस देती थी. So she, my therapist, worked on different areas of my life. Although she started with the academic area, but she also focused on my social life, on my social anxiety, on my family relationships, my family dynamics, and how to be more assertive. And there were so many things, that different areas where I lagged, that she helped me. And of course one of the exercises was where so one day she made me do an exercise which was all about dealing with social anxiety. So she told me that you imagine that you are sitting in front of a camera, no, actually a live audience. You are sitting in front of a live audience, and we are talking. Okay, we are doing a live session like we do on Instagram, and this video is being telecasted on Instagram and YouTube as well. And I really felt good after doing that. She was doing a psychology quiz type of session. मुझसे different type के questions पूछ रही थी कि okay, you are doing so much in the field of psychology, how are you feeling and what do you think about this, what is the difference between anxiety and fear. So it was like a talk show, but I was really enjoying it. So I think after 1 month I decided to start my YouTube channel, which is such a coincidence. But today I'm really happy. I know reach नहीं आती है, views नहीं आते, but I do it for myself because मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है to speak in front of the camera. So that is one of the biggest achievement that I contribute to my therapist. And not to forget that my therapist was really very, very, very supportive, and she also gifted me this diary, this pen, this cute pen, pencil, eraser, sharpener. And because I am a writer, so she asked me that what are your hobbies. Then I told that I love to write, I create poetries and all. So she was like, I will give you a diary and you write in that. And after 1 week I received my parcel, and I was so happy that first of all she was giving therapy for free, and secondly she was so invested in me that she was even giving me something to motivate me, to cheer me up. So I think she was one of the kindest soul that I've ever met. Okay, so I think my therapy lasted for around 30 weeks because she told me कि इससे ज़्यादा therapy अगर चलती है तो उसका मतलब ये कि हमारी progress नहीं हो रही है, और there is some flaw in the therapist ही client की help नहीं कर पा रहा है. So this session lasted for around 30 weeks. मैंने August 2024 के around start की थी, and then it ended before 2024 only. And there were so many things, so much nostalgia, so many learnings that she gave me. And one of the biggest things that she told me that I always remember is that she told me that you think that because you are an introvert you lack something. This is not your weakness. Because मुझे हमेशा ऐसा लगता है because I'm an introvert there are many people around that force me कि नहीं नहीं बात करो, why are you sitting alone. See, if I am comfortable with someone, अगर मेरी vibe उससे match हो रही है मैं बात कर लूँगी. But with people I know that वो they are double faced and they are very manipulative, or I know if their true nature, I know very well. I will not go and talk to them even if I'm sitting alone. And that because I protect my energies. It's not मैं किसी के साथ भी interact करके ऐसे time pass के लिए. I don't do that. I like to stay quiet, stay reserved, calm, and I have few group of people whom I like to interact with. So she told me that this is not a flaw. Introversion is a normal personality trait and you should cherish it, because it comes with a lot of things like people who are inquisitive, people who are very deeply connected to themselves, they seek peace within. So it is a personality trait. You cannot force yourself to become an extrovert, because ना ही फिर आप अपनी personality तो खो ही देंगे ना, दूसरे की भी नहीं बन पाएंगे. So you should not do that. Okay, so how therapy changed my life. So therapy not only changed my life, but it also taught me a lot of things, like how to reconnect with your family and friends. Social anxiety को कम करने के लिए क्या tools होने चाहिए, how you can build resilience in your life, because of course you will fail at some point of time. Even after doing your best, giving your best, you will fail because of whatever reason, but you have to learn to get up. And that is the reason in 2025 at one point of time I'm focusing at multiple things so that I can have many things. It's not कि मैंने एक ही चीज़ को पकड़ा मैं उसी में focus करूँ, and if I fail I have nothing else to look at. That thing I don't want to do. And I'm focusing on my hobbies, I'm focusing on my career, and of course I'm focusing on YouTube, which is giving me, just at this point of time, it is just giving me happiness. It is not giving me money. And at this point of time I'm just doing it because I am liking it. There is no other thing. So yeah, that was all from my side. My therapy experience was really very beautiful and eye-opening for me, and I think if you are struggling at some point of time, then you should not hesitate to reach out for therapy. And it can be even the very low affordable therapy services are also available, so you can check it out. And if you're able to afford like very high high demanding fees, then you can do that also. And thank you for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video.